Okay. Good evening again to everybody. This is our first meeting of 2025. I can't believe it's 2025. And welcome everybody to Friends Becoming Neighbors. And so many of us have become neighbors. We're all, of course, friends. And it's been 5 months to the day that we have moved into the Bluffs. It's really pretty incredible and very, very exciting. And we're so glad to have some of our existing neighbors here and some of our soon to becoming neighbors. Um, we've been watching Dennis and Daphne's house being built right in front of our eyes, which is really kind of cool. And we've been watching everybody else's houses getting filled with furniture, and we've been getting furniture delivered. And I think or today I ordered the last existing piece of major furniture that we need for now. Nadine knows that we're never at the last piece of it, but the last piece of major furniture that we need. And looking forward to what the warmth of to be able to sit outside. I mean, that's the next cool thing. So much going on here, as everybody knows. Snow. And of course, schools got out early today. Everyone's flipping out. Harris Teeter's flipping out. I'm sure there were no eggs, milk, or bread anywhere in Leland because everybody's got to stay home and make French toast tomorrow. And and I did not go to the supermarket. Nadine, did you go food shopping today?
I did, but I did not buy bread, milk, or toilet paper.
Oh, okay. Was toilet paper a big deal as well?
Apparently, bread, milk, and toilet paper are the things you're supposed to buy when there's a snowstorm, but I didn't have any of those on my list. So
Was it really as crowded as everybody said it would
I
be?
just went to Aldi. I was really in and out, and I just had a couple things to pick up. And I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't go to Harris Teeter. It was probably way worse.
Yeah. So yeah, it's but the kids were evidently let out of school early. The community college is closed tomorrow already. Um, the big news today, the big news at the Bluffs is we now have an official designated mail person. So we wanted to know whether he drew the short straw. He said no, he's new. He was new. He's young. He'll be old by June. But yes, but he is our designated mail person. I think I went back after 2 hours. He was still there on the other side. So evidently, it is taking a very, very long time. Evidently mail service here, and we're only what are we 2/3 full, Michael?
Half. They said at the meeting, we have about 300 homes occupied right now. So it takes the mail guy several hours just to stuff the mailboxes for 300 homes. Wait till there's 600 or 650. They're going to be here all day.
They probably need 2 people to do mailboxes. And I don't even know if packages had been done yet. But that's a big deal that we have a designated person for mail. That was a really cool thing. The next things that are coming up is that they are testing the gate stickers. Hey, Gare.
Hey, how are you?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
They are starting to test the stickers that are going to be, so instead of the little clicker thingies that raise the gates, for those of you who have been coming in and out, they're going to be putting a little tiny sticker on your headlight that is going to be making the gate go up and down. So they're testing those. Those should be launched, I believe, by the beginning of February. So they're going to start doing that, which is going to be really, really cool. And then by the time when the clubhouse opens, that is going to be an app on your phone. So everything that all those doors and everything, including the beach house, is all going to be a QR code that is on your phone. So you will not be able to get into the clubhouse or the gate or the clubhouse or the beach house without that QR code. So for example, you can't give somebody else. So somebody can't give somebody their code to a friend or somebody else. You'll have to actually have that code. So a parent, unless that kid has their phone, they will not be able to get into one of those two places. If a child has a phone, that code would be on their phone. So the purpose behind all of that is that this way Pat will know who, literally who is opening those doors. That's just for this, for the safety of everybody, and just so that we know who's going in and out of places. So that's what's been going on with that. The pool is being resurfaced this year, so I will know soon when that's being done. I'm gonna guess March, because we are, the clubhouse will be soft opening in March and into April, because we are a very big part of the Parade of Homes in April. So all of that, they're working really, really hard. I'm sure this snow is going to be putting them back. I don't know why, but it probably will. But we're getting very excited about all of that. So there's lots of stuff going on here, and they're working hard on the new section 6. Michael, you've been back there. What's going on back there?
Well, you really can't drive any vehicles back there. There's a road that's supposed to connect the front part of the community to the back side of the community, and that is under construction. So they have the road blocked off only for construction vehicles. They're the only ones that can pass. And people I know walk on in those areas, but the people that are building, the developers and builders, they really don't want people traipsing around back there. And I don't know when that's going to get done. I don't have a time frame, but I'm sure they're going to want to get it done soon, because they can't sell properties back there until the road is done. So that's going to be exciting, though. At least we'll have a full ring around the property, so that people, say like where Nadine and Randy are, all the way on that side, you'll have 2 ways to get out, Nadine. You'll have 2 escape routes.
Well, she'll have 3, because she'll be able to get on her power boat.
Ah.
She'll just be able to jump on her power boat like Magnum and just someday it'll all be good. So Sue, when are you going to be moving into your house? When is your date?
They're saying end of March, beginning of April. So we figure,
cool.
we're on a race with the clubhouse.
Excellent. So you're just kind of like hovering, waiting for everything to be ready, so that you're just going to hover in and waiting for that, for all of that. That's always great. And I know, Gary, you guys are hovering too, huh? Unclick your button. click the little microphone.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. We're still reviewing different plans from the landscapers at this time. So we haven't decided on a landscaper, and we're probably a couple weeks out from our final home inspection. So that's where just the landscapers are a little more involved than I realized. So we're really basically now comparing different landscaper plans and decide on a final landscaper. But you said the weather there is a little, like, what is the weather there right now?
It's snowing.
Is it actually snowing? I haven't looked out the window.
It's 20. My phone said 29 degrees, something like that, a few minutes ago. So it's going to drop down a little, Gary, and it's going to be cold this week, but then it's going to warm up next week.
Yeah, we're at well, we had 6 inches 6 inches Sunday night into Monday, and then today was, right now I think it's like 14. And tomorrow is supposed to be tomorrow's a high of 18.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we warm up to about 32 over the weekend.
So Debbie, you're sitting there looking all judgy about that cold weather. Where are you, and what's the weather where you are?
Oh, so we're in Brunswick Forest. We're renting until
okay.
this is done. So yeah, we're waiting for the snow like everybody else. But we came from New Jersey, so I sympathize.
Okay. And what did you buy at the supermarket? You're nice and close to the supermarket, so
Yeah,
what were they buying at Lowe's?
I did the supermarket earlier in the week because I saw the forecast and I didn't want to get in with the chaos.
Like, it's really crazy. It's like none of us have any food in our house.
Yeah, it's like it's panic shopping.
It absolutely. I think it's a trigger reflex. And what's going on with your house?
So they broke ground and they dug the trench and
The footings are in.
the footings.
The footings are in.
Yes.
We're just waiting for, they got the cinder blocks in for the foundation. We're waiting for the brick to come in. So that won't be until late this week, early next week, so.
Yeah, but we're okay with that because of the temperatures. We really didn't want to doing a lot of cement work when it's way below zero or below freezing, I should say.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. How about you, Tina? What's going on with you?
Hi.
Hi.
We've had some movement.
Yay.
We met our project manager last week and I have contacts in the neighborhood who send me pictures. They cleared out the land and they put down the footings and started
cool.
with
And where are you
blocks as
building
well.
where are you building and who is your builder?
We're with Kent and we're on River Parkway, just up from the boat launch area. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Very exciting.
They're looking at like an August completion. So we'll see.
And they're
Tina,
usually
you'll probably be
pretty
right down
much-
the street from us.
Oh, okay. Are you on River Parkway too?
We're on the corner of Dockview and River Parkway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hi. Yeah, I mean, the last time we went there over the when we had the meeting, the big meeting, they were like, was it the big meeting? No, the time before the big meeting, there was like nothing being built yet. Everything was still just trees and nothingness. And then we went for the big meeting. There were like 8 houses going up. I was like, oh my goodness. So it was very exciting to see.
Yes.
Happening quickly.
So when you drive into the neighborhood now, so for the big meeting, there was nothing there. And now, right when you come over, is it the first bridge? There are 2 Kent houses going up around one house that was already there in the middle.
Yeah.
And they're both going up at the same time.
Hmm.
And every time you go, I feel like when I leave the neighborhood, they're in one phase.
Mhm.
And when I come back, they're in another phase. Like, and we're, and both of them are like almost in a race to go up. So every time you go by, there's just something else going on.
Yeah.
And if you go around a block and you wait a week and you come back, there's another house that's been started someplace else. So if I can imagine what it must look like to those of you who are coming in and out of the neighborhood, with Gary, for you, it's going to be like landing on another planet because you haven't been here. I mean, how long has it been since you were here last?
I was there over the summer. That was the last time over the summer. So I should be back in March. Be back there during spring break.
Okay.
So I'll be
I
back
see.
there then. So what is so right now you have the heat on in your house, I gather, right?
One would hope, yes.
And how's the heat? The heat, no issues, everything.
No issues. So for those of you who don't know, on the first coldest day in the history of North Carolina here, I woke up in the morning. I said, it's really cold in here. And our thermostats were dead, blank, dead. We had no heat. And no heat. And so of course we called our project manager and said, we have no heat. They called and they said, don't worry, we're gonna try to get somebody out. They couldn't get anybody out. And so what do you mean? We can't get anybody out here for you? And God bless this neighborhood. I went on to Helping Hands. On one of the Team Reach, and everybody was amazing. I mean, people we didn't know dropped heaters on our front porch. I could have had 15 heaters here. Thank God we had electricity. and we had a bunch of heaters here, and they said they couldn't get us out, they couldn't get somebody out, that we should call, that my project manager should call the after hours number at 5 o'clock for emergency. The owner of my company was furious. My project manager, I mean, we were floored. They kept calling and calling and calling. Long story short, nobody came that night. We were cold. Waited until the next day. I said, I expect somebody to be here. They finally came, what, about 3 o'clock, Michael?
No, it was, he came right after lunch. He came around 1 o'clock, and he diagnosed it, and he said, I can't fix it. And I said, why? He says, because the problem is this, such and such burnt out and it needs to be fixed by an electrician. I'm not an electrician. He's the HVAC guy. Thankfully, our project manager reacted pretty quickly, and the electrician came probably within an hour. He got there around 3, and by 4:30, 5 o'clock, everything was up and running again. So we were without heat, well, central heat, for about a day and a half, almost 2 days.
And it was, and I'm usually never cold, like seriously never cold. I don't mind the cold. It was cold. It was for me to be cold, it was cold. I did not like that. So it would, but the neighborhood was amazing. I mean, really, truly, everybody was like, come stay here. We have heat. You worry about pipes freezing, and and we don't know the house. We don't know what the things are yet, what to do. I will tell you, we will probably at some point purchase. Everybody has heaters. It never occurred to me that so many people would have heaters. I expect that probably people have heaters from their old houses, or people have heaters here because they're trying to save money on whether it's gas or electric or whatever it is, and they have heaters. But the community was incredible. It really was a beautiful
Rob,
thing.
What one of the people that we borrowed heaters from, she told me that it was for their a camper maybe, or a camping house that maybe needed heat. It wasn't for this house, but they had them anyway. So, and they weren't doing anything. They were sitting in the garage or a closet, and that's the person that showed up at our front door without even calling, just showed up with heaters. So
It really
right after the call went out.
It was really, it was really a beautiful thing.
Robin,
But,
how does your fireplace do?
it makes
Does it throw off heat?
it makes pretty flames, but it's lovely. It makes me feel like I should be warm. But again, things I learned after my house was built is that it does not have a fan or a blower. So, I could sit real close next to it. It was going. I mean, it makes me feel like I should be warmer. But it was really cold. I mean, it was, it was like that bone chilling kind of cold that, but you live and you learn. And now we learned, and it never occurred to us. I went to go get my hair done, and she made me sit in the chair to dry my hair so that I didn't go home with wet head. So, it was the first real frost, the first real cold. Everybody was cold. And so everywhere you went, everybody was cold. So I thought we weren't supposed to be cold down here.
That's
Where are
right.
we all, where are we all told, move to North Carolina. It'll be nice and warm down there. You're never going to have to worry about being cold again. Ah!
Rob,
Yes, dear.
The really nice thing about our experience is that we were the beneficiaries of some fantastic generosity. And once you come down here to the neighborhood, and then you start to see the Facebook posts and you see what's going on, it's a very giving neighborhood. There's a lot of people, they donate, they help, they support. There's a lot of different ways that people do that. And it's a very friendly neighborhood. So I think for those that aren't here yet, I think, you're going to want to get here.
Absolutely.
So great lessons learned, not get rid of all your winter clothes.
No, I will tell you, Eleonora, if I'm going to send you the list of all of the people that I gave my stuff to before I left. So for all of you who are coming back down, if you just stop at all of those places who I gave all my stuff to, it just gives me a reason to go out and go shopping for other stuff.
I do
know
have a question, if I may.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm in the process because we are trying to, to start the project. But I just can't believe it, the pushback that we are getting, because I picked the brick, wraparound, and it's 6 inches over, and they won't grant a variance. They're pushing me to use stucco, and it's like, no, I'm not going to use stucco. I want my brick. And who can I really reach out to? I mean, it's just like 6 inches. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Okay, so number one, you're talking about at the bottom, at the base?
The wraparound.
The wraparound. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and who is your builder?
True Homes.
Okay, and so let's have you and I have a talk offline, but the review board, I mean the design review board, it's so in the covenants, there are rules
Yeah.
for all of these things. So the design review board is the developer. That's the covenants. So there is nobody higher to go to but the covenants. That's our ruling board. So there, you can make a claim. You can try to give them you can try, but that's what it's, if it says you can only have 2 feet, and they're saying that you can only, I'm just using that as an example. If they're saying you have 2 feet and you're asking for 2 feet, you're asking for 3 feet, and it says you're only allowed to have 2 feet, then you can only have 2 feet. Now, if you go around the neighborhood and you come up with 5 other examples where they have 5 feet, then I would suggest that you go take pictures of those other places where they have 5 feet and say, but these other houses have 5 feet. And that's the only way to appeal, or talk to your builder and have them do that. Because the covenants that's the law.
Or is it the county that's pushing back and saying you're over the building restriction line with the brick? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's the Bluffs.
Oh, it's the Bluffs. Okay.
Bluffs.
So it is the ARB or the, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 6 inches. We are talking 6 inches.
I don't understand.
I mean,
so there has to be that. Well, it's but and again, so the only thing, and again, there's got to be a reason why they're pushing back on that 6 inches. So, I mean, all of us have been there with something, right? Whether it's the number of trees, whether it's been, a chimney, a window, something that we wanted.
You know what? There's a process to appeal, but you have to have a justification. You just can't say that's because I want it. Now when Robin and I hadn't even started our build, we had a design that had a fair amount of not brick, but stonework on the front. And there was a concern that maybe we're exceeding the allowance for how much stone is on the front. We actually drove around the neighborhood to find houses that had a ton of stonework on the front. In the event that our design got rejected, we were prepared to appeal and say, well, here are 10 other houses that have more stone or the same amount of stone. So why would you disallow ours? Now, we never had that problem because our design got reviewed automatically or by whatever process. But we actually drove around the neighborhood to compare what we were doing versus other houses. So maybe, I don't know I know you're up north somewhere, and I know it's hard to get here, but maybe that's something you want to do, or maybe somebody else can do that on your behalf. Your builder, perhaps?
Now, yeah, I mean, it's just like, I gave all my reasons why I opted for brick. There are so many health benefits environmentally, I mean, just everything that you can, to be a better steward of the earth. And then they're pushing for a stucco that, it picks up mold. It can, I mean, all these, different, I mean, I send the whole list, and it's like six
I think
inches
it's
over,
worth
so
I think it's worth an
3
offline
inches on the
discussion.
2 sides. So we
I
are
think-
talking 3 inches on one side and 3 inches on the other side.
Eleanor, you know what? Why don't you and I have a conversation? If you have some time tomorrow, give me a call and
Okay.
send me your plan so I know what you're talking about.
Well, they are, they can't finish the plans because it got pushed back.
Well, no, just send me the model so that I
Oh,
know
okay.
only so I know what you're talking about, because I'm not familiar with the model when I'm not familiar with it. And then this way, at least I know what you're talking about, because they're probably telling you it's not coastal. I mean, it's the same 12 things that we've all heard over and over and over again. And then let's see whether, we can give you some language, some
Yeah,
different
that's what I'm
language
looking for.
to push back with. Okay. No worries. No worries.
Excellent.
Sorry
Thank
you're going through all of that. Barbara, what's going on with you?
Oh, well, this is good news. So the house is up, the roof
Yay!
is on. We're so excited. We are coming down a week from tomorrow, and we're going to do
Yay!
our pre-drywall walkthrough in our meeting, kind of thing. So yay.
Yay.
Yay. So exciting to see. Got pictures, sent to us from, neighbors and friends and stuff like that in the bluffs. So it's all good. It's going to be exciting to see. Yep. We are good. It is freezing. New Jersey here. Just got home from work. Of course, driving home. It's 0 degrees, wind chill minus, and I know you guys are all dealing with that. And I know we got our, people that are relocated from New York are used to that cold weather and stuff. But yeah, my daughter who lives in Raleigh and the other one who lives in New Bern, she's a teacher. They had this meeting. They think they'll be closing school tomorrow. How do we teach these kids and keep out of all? She's like, this is kind of crazy because she's from the, Northeast and stuff. But yeah, they're not used to this at all down there, right?
No, it's absolutely crazy. Now, just
Yeah.
remind everybody who's building your house and where is
So
it?
we're in Kent and Bay Colony, 3839. Let's see, where are we? You're at the end. We're kind of towards the beginning. We're on that, when you come down the street, we're on the right-hand side. I think there's like 3 or 4 white houses, and then you'll see a house being built kind of thing. That's us.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's really interesting. It just exploded. Like they're filling in all these different spaces over there. It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's
Get my bearings. I don't know where things are when people say, "Oh, it's just right down the." I know how to get in, and then I need to spend like a good afternoon just walking around or driving around myself, because I don't know, I keep getting confused.
Tina, let me tell you the best thing and the worst thing that I did, because I was coming down without Michael most of the time. And I knew how to get to Nadine and Randy's house, because you kind of can't not get to, and I couldn't get lost because I would just keep going around in circles. And because they're just easy. The problem was knowing when you start making rights and lefts off of other streets, and then at night, because there's no lights.
Oh.
And so if you have a point of reference, after a while, you're like, oh, okay, I know that house. The problem is that with the next time you come, there are 4 other houses that are in the way of your marker.
Uh-huh.
So, and then maybe the house that was your marker changed something. So now they have a tree in front or something like that. So you start, it took me about 2 months of doing it all the time and knowing like you kind of get into a rhythm. But once you start getting down to the getting down to the Riverwalk, now it's a whole new area over there, and I'm clueless. All of you people down there on Rivergate are going to kill me. You guys now, because it used to be a nice loop where you would just go around and go around. Now I'm looking for numbers and I'm looking for houses, and Michael goes, it just goes this way. No, because it's like, ooh, new house. And now I have no clue where I am. Because I'm just going and it's, all right, ooh, I'm following that. And oh, she's over there. No. So it's then now there's a whole new, and when phase 6 opens,
Start over.
it's just we're gonna have to start all over again. So
who is
And then I
on
have to
the,
remember who lives in which house.
who's on Rivergate?
well, Rivergate, and then there's River Parkway.
No, who's on Rivergate?
Well, Rivergate's easy. I don't think we have anybody here on Rivergate.
No, I
but
am.
So you are.
Well,
So
I will be.
You will be. So Rivergate is fabulous because you're contained. You go in on one end and you come out on the other, and you just go. The problem is because it's short, if you pass it,
You miss it.
you got to be real careful to go that way. But Rivergate, Rivergate is nice and contained. So Barbara, when do you think you guys are going to be, like, when is your completion time?
They're saying, I think July. I don't know. They're moving so
wow.
quickly that maybe it's going to be sooner. That would be great. So
Very
you
cool.
said something. There is no streets lights. There's no lights, street lights in the development.
Down by you yet?
Well, in the development, there's street lights, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
I think that they put them in. So you're down in the new. You're down in that on River
No,
Park.
me.
Yeah.
I'm on
You're
Bay
on,
Colony.
you're on Bay Colony, but
Yes, I'm on Bay
street
Colony.
there are street
There's
lights.
street lights, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of them. There aren't a lot of them, but so there's a street light on Bay Colony that is annoying Susan's sister, like a far away, right? Michael, how far is that street light?
I don't know which one.
The street light that is in our cul-de-sac is shining into Vicky's living room.
That's the one. It's probably 100 yards away.
No, the light is right at the end of her driveway.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, it's the one at the end of her driveway that's bothering her. So
it's
what's
really
happening?
bright, and it shines right into her bedroom.
Right into her bedroom.
There's a cure for that, but I won't go into it on right now.
No.
I'll do that offline with you if you want.
I've heard a few.
Well,
there's a
BB
cure.
gun or whatever. So that's a whole nother
No,
story.
there's a real cure for that.
Okay. So Brian, what's going on with your house?
I don't know. Just hanging out, showing it to people. I have a couple of things I want to touch on here, especially with the cold weather. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. How many people, Michael, you get around, how many frozen pipes have you seen so far this year? I bet after this coming week.
0 so far. I mean, thankfully our pipes are holding up, and I haven't heard or seen anything about people's freezing pipes. That doesn't mean it's not happening,
right?
But I haven't heard anything. Maybe people, they haven't, they're just taking care of it on their own without broadcasting.
It'll probably show up with irrigation problems, I would think, in the spring.
In the spring, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I know I brought that up to the landscaper when they put our irrigation system in. They're like, oh, it never gets that cold down here. So fortunately, because we're leasing back, that'll all fall on the builder to take care of it before I move down. So we'll make sure there's a blowout. That was the first thing. The second thing, the last time I talked to you and Robin, I discovered from a neighbor the issue with the mail problem. That even though we weren't living in the Bluffs, and I was hoping Janine would be here so I could tell her tonight too. I'm assuming that when we got our certificate of occupancy, somebody at the county or somebody decided, oh, Brian must be living in his house now, so we'll start sending his mail there. And apparently there was a mailbox that our mail was getting delivered to, and it was an accumulating mailbox. So it wasn't just our mail, it was a bunch of people's mail in one box. And I talked to the two of you at the end of the meeting about it. So I did a little research. What I did was I went and we bought our $100 mailbox. I went into the USPS website and was able to temporarily forward my mail from my mailbox down there up to my home here in Harleysville, Pennsylvania. And it cost me $1.10 to do.
Yeah.
So
How's
now
that
what
working
I'll
out?
do, what's that?
How's it working out?
Well, I haven't received any yet. I did it probably, well, it was before Christmas, I guess. No, after. It was the beginning of the year, I guess. So I'm still waiting to see some. And then I want to send Kim's working on sending our key down to one of our friends so that they can go and get whatever mail's there. I don't know if the development set out for the HOA fees yet this year. No, okay. So I don't know what's in our mailbox down there, but that's my solution to that problem. And then like a month before we move in, I'll just change it and have our mail delivered down there.
So I'll share this with the group. So Janine and Todd were here. Robin, I forgot their last name. Walters, right? Walter. And they told us that they got their mailbox keys. They went to their mailbox. How exciting. They had like an inch thick of mail. They thought, this is fantastic. Guess what? It was all for somebody else. It was somebody else's mail being dropped in their mailbox.
Yes.
Somebody who's living here. And that person, I won't mention names, that person was missing some very important documents and things like that. So I said to Janine, I said, first of all, you have to straighten that out with the post office. But secondly, you have 3 keys. Why don't you leave 1 key with that person? Because Janine is not moving here for another year or year and a half, right? She's doing a lease back. And for the next year and a half, her mail is going to keep getting delivered here, even if it's just junk mail. And I said, why don't you give your key to somebody, to that person, and let that person go to your mailbox once a week or twice a week just to see if her mail is continuously being delivered there. And eventually, I think Robin mentioned like there's a new postal carrier that's dealing with our community. Hopefully that'll all get straightened out, with a little attention.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
that stuff happens.
Yeah.
We've heard stories.
It's crazy. But hopefully they will work that out. So the parks. My entertainment every day.
Yeah, we're glad that we can keep you occupied.
And I thank you for that. Michael's getting it's a lot of togetherness here.
Yeah, so Dennis and Daphne Parks, for those who we're seeing I think we already know most of you guys already are senior here. But anyway, we're in Stafford. We're in Stafford, Virginia, and we're at 4045 Bay Colony, right up the road from Robin and Michael. We're building with Haygood, and we're finally actually building, so we are excited. And so one of the things that I wanted to throw out there to the group is that sometime around May, we're probably going to be looking for a place to rent down there month to month while our house is being finished, because our lease will be up here. So if you guys hear about anything, please let us know.
So you know what? I'm going to have you get a hold of Rob Stevens, because they've been unfortunately moving from place to place to place, and he's had some really fabulous places. So I'll cyber connect the two of you, and he's been really, really happy with all of the places that he's been. So he would be absolutely a really great resource. And he's on the cul-de-sac right across from you.
Oh, okay.
So he's waiting to move into he's building the house right across.
Okay. All right.
So
cool.
I'll take care of that tomorrow.
Sounds good.
It's all good. We're excited. We're gonna finally get you guys down here.
I know.
Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely.
yep. Looking forward to the 4th of July parade.
Absolutely. So Randy and I know Randy's hovering in his hovercraft somewhere, like George Jetson. Do I see Suzanne Napoli somewhere there? No.
How are
She's
you?
actually there. Hi, move over a little bit. I see you here.
Gary was there. He just got up.
I know, Gary. You guys like to share.
Yes.
I'm back.
And he's back. So he said you guys were going to come down in March.
Oh no, I'll be down there before that.
I thought you'd be here like February break or something.
Yeah.
I see. I was smart. We're glad to see you here.
You too.
So Nadine, you're coming up on that 1 year mark. How does that feel?
Kind of crazy. February 1st will be our 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's gone by
What
very fast.
Yeah. So what kind of experiential wisdom can you share with everybody in the group about what this year has taught you, what you wish you had known when you were in everybody else's shoes?
Oh boy, that's a tough question.
Oh, no, it's not. I know exactly what you want to tell everybody. You're among friends here.
No, everything's really good. I mean, we had Hey Good. We had a lot of items on a punch list. We just had our 1 year walkthrough, and they're going to definitely come back and finish the few remaining punch list items, and then fix the things that need to be repaired, that have come up over the course of the year. And we're happy about that. That's wonderful. I mean, we're just so thrilled to be here. It's been a wonderful neighborhood and wonderful people. And like Robin said, if there's anything that you need, or there's a mishap and you need assistance in any way, you're ill, your spouse is ill, or you need heaters or whatever, everyone has been great with reaching out and helping in any way, whatever it is. So I can't say enough about that.
So is there anything that you wish you had known before you got here?
No, I would say I wish we had been here during the remaining 2 or 3 months of our construction. I think we would have headed off a lot of little punch list items that, the fit and finish kind of items that kind of snuck by. And but that means moving twice, and I really didn't want to do that either. I wanted to leave the house we were in Maryland and move directly here, but with that, you're building from afar, and so some things slipped by that maybe we would have caught if we had been here in town the whole time. But that's really the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
So yeah, Dennis and Daphne, one of the things, like Robin was talking about not having a blower on her fireplace, we have the same problem. Different builder, same thing. We moved in and we go through our walkthrough and flip the switch for, the flame comes on, and I said, okay, well, how long does it take for the blower to kick in? He goes, oh, well, you didn't order a blower. I was like, well, we've had like 7 fireplaces in the 38 years we've been married. I've never had a fireplace that doesn't have a blower. So we're going to put that in ourselves. But how did that get missed? I don't know.
So we didn't miss it. Like, they told us it's just a for show fireplace, and we were like, oh, it's so warm down there. We don't need we almost didn't even get a fireplace because we were like, what do we need a fireplace for? It's never gonna get cold. We got the fireplace, and then it turned out to be more expensive to not get the fireplace.
Oh.
So we're like, fine, we'll get the fireplace. And then we visited someone's house and they had their fireplace on it with a blower, and it was so cozy over that weekend, the big weekend, with the big meeting. And so it was a little, I mean, I didn't think it was chilly, but other people did. And they had their fireplace going with the blower, and we were like, oh, maybe we should get the blower. And so when we met with our project manager the first time, we said, oh, we think we're going to be adding a few things like a blower on the fireplace. And he said, you could, and that's not a problem. He goes, but they're it's so easy to go out and buy the unit and put it in yourself that, if
as long as your fireplace will take one, like Robin said, didn't you say your fireplace, you can't add one?
I can't.
Oh,
mine,
your model.
Mine isn't available with, and
okay.
it never occurred to me because I've never had a gas fireplace. So,
and I remember talking to the person about that. I was like, what do you mean there's no like blower? And she's like, really, it's just a for show kind of pretty thing. But you could upgrade if you want. And we're like, we won't need it. But our guy said that we could put the thing in, but we'll make sure that our fireplace can do that. Like, with the
But
insert.
that was, and so it never occurred to me.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't know. So, but there's things that you learn. Like no one ever told me that the floors sweat here. Don't start with my eyeballs sweating, Nadine, because that's a whole new experience. I have waterproof makeup that I have done testing, but that the floors, that stamped concrete floors, like outside patio floors, actually get so wet, even when it's cold, because of the humidity here, that my feet leave wet footprints in cold weather because of the humidity. Now, they don't tell you that. Whether it's tile, whether it's concrete, it doesn't matter. And everybody feels compelled to explain. And Michael's going, okay, it's the humidity. Do you understand that the humidity comes from the air and it comes from underneath? There he goes again. Okay. And everybody has to explain to me that there's water in the air and it gets, and my little footprints are all over the place and there's nothing that you can do. So you put a rug on it so that you don't, so I don't slip and crack my head. Brian, he's biting at the bit to give me the same lecture about the air and that. I see, I know you're trying and you can explain to me all you want. I get it. But I, of course, panicked thinking that there was something wrong with the house. Something was leaking from the top. Something was coming up from the ground, but I didn't know. Was there something that I could have done if I had done that something else? Does something else not make puddles of water from the humidity? Does anybody else have a house, Nadine, that doesn't sweat?
Well, mine doesn't, my patios are not stamped concrete, which seems to have like a shinier, smoother finish. And the condensation seems to like sit on the top of that, which I can imagine you could hit with a bare foot and go flying.
Right.
Our patios are, I guess, a more porous concrete that has the little shells in it. So ours doesn't get that level of condensation collecting on them. I think the concrete just absorbs the moisture. So I haven't had that problem, but I think it has to do with whether if you had tile outside, I think it would do the same thing because it's a sealed, smoother finish. It would do the same thing.
So those of you who still have an opportunity to make decisions about your surfaces, there's something that I wish that somebody had told me. I don't know that I would have changed it. I did know about the tile because we had been to somebody's house and they said that
it's slippery.
They had changed from concrete to tile, to a textured tile, thinking that that was going to change it. And they actually have to put rugs on everything. But the rug is only going to get wet. I mean, I have rugs now on it so that at least it's not as slippery.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was a panic. Would I have changed it to something rougher? At least I would have liked to have been told about the choices. Like my house was specced with it. But I will tell you, it's wet. I mean, I'm not talking like damp, like after you've mopped the floor.
Yeah.
I'm talking like I'm walking in puddles of water, like you feel like something is wet.
Do you think that maybe next year it would be less, would condensation collect on it less? I mean, your house is brand new, so there's a level of moisture even in the concrete because of construction. Maybe, I don't know. So between the humidity collecting on it and just condensation coming up from inside the concrete, is that possible? I don't know. No.
David's shaking his head going, this lady is out of her mind. David, he looks like he wants to chime in. Come on, lay it on me.
Robin, no, just.
David has something to say.
Got something to say, David? You tell her.
Come on, chime in. I know, I'm curious.
No, I have nothing to say. I was assuming that you have a screened-in porch, and that's where, okay.
The bottom line is it's stamped concrete that is sealed with like a clear coat on top. So there's no moisture coming up from underneath. There are no pipes underneath that are leaking. there's moisture in the air, and when it hits the cold surface, it condenses and collects. And because the stamped concrete, Rob, it is not a completely flat surface like a mirror, water and moisture does run, and it will puddle in one or two little areas. And so some areas are dry and some areas will have tiny little puddles.
Yeah, but it was doing that before the sealant as well.
Whether it's sealed or not, the water's not coming up from underneath.
I'm just sharing that as one of those things that I wish that at least somebody had said to me beforehand, so at least I would have been prepared. Like my eyeballs sweating in August. That you know, from humidity, like that. No, like Nadine has warned me that, and she will tell you. I'm going to let her tell you because I don't speak from experience.
I thought we had humidity in Maryland, but this really is over the top. I've never sweat from my eyelids before in my life.
Suzanne, aren't you excited?
Very. Between the talk of the snakes and the bugs and everything else, and then your eyeballs sweating. Yes.
Barbara, you getting excited? Our eyelids are going to sweat. I mean, this is big. This is big news. You know? Yes, Susan.
I have a question. With the snow, does the community have a plow? Like, do the roads get plowed since it's a private community?
That is the funniest thing we have heard.
Absolutely not.
All day
Bring
today.
your snow shovel.
Yeah, I would think we don't expect that much snow ever.
Right. So Susan, I have to tell you, last year when we first met Joe, all right, Vicky and Joe, Joe brought me into the garage and I said, Joe, why did you bring your snow shovel with you? It doesn't snow here. And he shrugged his shoulders and he said, I don't know. I just brought it. I think Joe will be the only one in the neighborhood with a snow shovel.
Probably, yeah. He's up in New Jersey right now. We're at his house, and he told us where the shovels were.
There you go.
That's good to know. We'll bring our snow shovels, but we're selling the snow blower.
Yeah, I'm
not bringing a snow blower.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I mean, do the main roads get plowed? Do the roads in the community get plowed? No, right?
No.
I mean, Nadine, did it snow last year when you moved in?
No, it's never been this cold either. I mean, last year, every time we would make a trip down, I had like a jacket on, but I didn't wear a winter coat at all. I mean, I'm kind of I have a coat aversion. I don't like to wear winter coats. So I never wore one at all last season. This season, I've already worn it, 10 times. It's been really cold.
It has been, I think, and a lot of the contractors and guys who've been coming in have said that this hasn't been this way in years.
Years.
Like this winter has been an anomaly. So I wouldn't get too used to it.
No, and I don't think we're ever going to have enough snow that needs a plow. Honestly, if we get anything tonight, even if it's an inch or so, I think it'll be gone.
I don't think the roads are that cold.
No.
We have a welcome party tomorrow night for the people who've just moved in, and I haven't gotten anything saying we're canceling it or that anything has been. The schools are closed. The biggest issue that I've heard is ice, because I think that's what happens. That it gets icy.
Yeah.
I spoke to somebody today. She went and bought a boogie board so her daughter could go sledding tomorrow.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of Southern. I thought that was really interesting. We used to use school trays.
Yeah.
In college, we used to use Michael, did you guys up in Buffalo use the trays from the cafeteria?
I never did. We roughed it. We were in Buffalo. We roughed it.
What did you use?
We didn't go sleigh riding. There's no hills in Buffalo.
Oh, that's true too. There you go. So yeah, but I will tell you, it's there really isn't anything. I mean, this for all of you who are, the more time you spend here and the more time you get to meet, be with the people, you guys are just coming into a community that every week, even with the crazy that goes on, be it snow, be it the cold, every week, I just say, just We made a great choice. We made a great choice. And speaking of that, if you happen to have gotten this month's or this season's, this Ideal Living magazine, this is from, there is no date on it. The one, oh, Discovery 2025. If you guys get Ideal Living magazine, on page 128, you will see an article that is headed Finding Community and Adventure on the Bluffs on the Cape Fear. And I hate when they do that. And it is an article. I was interviewed with another couple for the magazine and about my journey coming in here. And it's all about the people. It really, truly is a journey about the people that were here and this group. So you can get it online. This magazine, even though you have found your place, I had a really interesting conversation with the editor of this magazine. And as I said, even though you have already found your happy home for the future, there's a lot of information in there. She's really about living your best life. So there's other information in here besides finding a place to live. There's also a lot of information about adventures and different kinds of things to do. And a lot of really great stuff. A lot of really great stuff. So if you are coming down, there are wonderful people who are living here who have businesses in the community and businesses right outside the community. If you have not yet discovered the Sandalwood shops, which are on the Harris Teeter side of the road, so you don't have to do a loop-de-loop. You can just get right off and go right in there. And in fact, she's on Bay Colony. She's on the right when you get off Belmead. And there we actually have people in the community who have shops in the Sandalwood shops. We also now have a hairdresser in the community who is doing cut and color, and she's fabulous. And she's doing it only for people here. So we've got a lot of really wonderful people. We have yoga. We have, oh my God, we have so many different things that are going on here. We have people doing massage. We have tons of pickleball going on. Nadine, what else do we have going on here? We've got cooking. We've got
Kayak.
Oh gosh, there's so many
kayak
groups.
We've got
Kayaking.
kayak. We've got flower arranging going on. We're starting to build the raised, if anybody is interested in the raised beds, our community garden will be opening probably in the spring. The dog park will be opening in the spring.
We've got, all the ones I have on my team reach. International dinner night. Tonight is the Future Neighbor Social Networking. That's this. Bluffs Fitness Friends, pickleball, culinary adventures, it's entertainment, travel adventures, kayaking, Artisans Collective, Women's Hikers, Helping Hands, Blossom Buddies, Bluffs Knit and Crochet, Bluffs Boober, which is like the boating group, I guess. And there's a Boober and the Bluffs Boaters. So that's two separate groups. I haven't done anything with them, but there's so many to choose from. You can be as involved as you want or not.
There's
There's a group that does bowling too, Nadine.
Yeah, I'm not on that one. I guess can you find the list of all the?
Okay, so there is a list of, so there's two kinds of groups that are, is everybody here on Team Reach? Have you downloaded the Team Reach app? Okay, that's number one. The ones that are on the ones that are on the owner's portal are the ones that have gone through the developer's office. They've been quote unquote approved. So in other words, that they know that they exist. Then there's another group who have just added. So you can create a group. If Nadine all of a sudden decided she wanted to do a quilters group, she doesn't need approval from the developer to start a group. She only needs to register it with the developer or with the office to have it listed on the portal. That's the only thing. So if you decide that you want to do a group, you can list it, come up with a name and a number, and you can just list it and get the word out by word of mouth. So that's why you may find out that there's another group that's going on that you may not be able to find. It just goes around word of mouth. So there's tons of things. And if you want to start something, then you absolutely can start something and just get the word out. And there's so many ideas and so many different people have stuff. And sometimes something will start and it works for a little while and then it doesn't. So, and then it may come back out again. So, we're working on a whole bunch of different things. And sometimes we have to wait for some more people to come in. And people get busy with a lot of other things, and it's all good. Maybe we need to, start a snow shovel group. People who brought snow shovels. We have the people for the community garden. It's turned into this real grassroots, no pun intended, but we're actually using the repurposed wood from the bridge. All the bridges are being resurfaced, and it's really good, really, really good wood. So people from the community are actually building these beds themselves. They've been cutting them, so it's all volunteer, and it's really phenomenal wood. So it went from being a $450 bed down to a $200 project. And everyone's getting together and doing it. The dog park was all done with volunteer money and all that kind of stuff. So the people of the Bluffs, if you want to get it done, they seem to be able to get it done. So it's all good. Anybody have anything else that they have questions about, that they want to share?
Yeah, I've got 3 questions, please.
Okay.
First question, storage. Has anybody had any issues with the storage center? I imagine you go through the developer to get a key or a pass into it. We're going to be putting a boat in there.
So everybody is entitled to one space. I believe that the existing lot is full, but they're in the process of building the second one.
So there's no space right now.
I could be totally wrong. Somebody who would had something there could have had it out there. So if I were you, I would contact Pat, like tomorrow morning, and just let her know that you're going to be coming down with a boat and get your name on the list. There may be a spot. That because I don't monitor that.
Okay. Number 2, you had a video earlier last year. I saw, I believe one of the families has a daughter that works in the moving industry.
Yes, Andrea.
Okay. Do you ever contact information? We have
I absolutely do.
2 large storage bins in Brunswick Forest that we're going to want to move out of here end of February. That'd be awesome.
I'll give you
And
that.
then I heard somebody talking about Ubers. Hard to get there or not into the community to come pick you up, take you to Wilmington, get you back from downtown. Success or not much?
We had one incident where we had an Uber pick us up and take us to the airport, but we don't use Uber regularly. But the Uber driver got to us. Of course, he went to the wrong block. Like I said, he was using Apple Maps. That was another adventure related
And it
to
was
his
4:30 in the
arrival.
morning.
Right.
Yeah. But I think people do use Uber, but I don't know if anybody here has any experience with it on a regular basis.
Okay, so the other thing is, if you go, are you on the Living in the Bluffs Facebook group?
I'll ask. Marlene,
Marlene.
are we on the Living in the Bluffs Facebook group? Yes, we are.
Okay, so if you go to, and everybody should be on that Facebook group. If you go to that Facebook group,
What's the name of the Facebook group?
Living in the Bluffs. And what I need to do here is I need to give me 1 second because I just did something really dumb. I've got to go back to this and get off of this. I'm going to put Andrea's information so that everybody has it.
Okay.
So Andrea Daniels is the mover. It's 540-297. And if you're thinking about moving in the summertime and you're thinking about calling her, I would definitely get a meeting with her sooner than later, because that's the busiest. So in the living in the Bluffs, in that there's a files link up there, and one of the residents has a list of all of the recommendations. There is a driver in there as well that a lot of people use that comes and picks people up. If you're talking about a driver that to drive you back and forth from Wilmington on a regular basis, or just like if you happen to go to Wilmington and you're looking for somebody to pick you up back and forth, what the Uber driver told us when we did it, make an appointment. In other words, if you're going to be coming back very late, because the Uber drivers are picking the kids up from the colleges. So they hang around Wilmington because they pick them up from the bars at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you're going to be in Wilmington late, but I think they pick them up the latest that they're there around 3 o'clock, because I think the bars close at like 2:30. I don't know. I don't happen to be out there that late. But if you're going to be later than that, make a reservation. And then, because our guy said, had we not made the reservation the day before, he would have already been home.
Yeah, we never had a problem when we lived in Magnolia Grange with getting it. We weren't sure
okay.
if we'd have a problem up there at the Bluffs. We're members of the city club, going at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they don't even, the problem here is, number one, getting in. So everybody you really need to make sure that you know how to get people in with your code, with your guest code. Don't ever, 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 ever give your code, especially to an Uber driver.
Right.
Don't give them your code. And remember that code, that once we change over, I believe the code will still work, but your beepers won't. But you don't want to give your 4-digit code to anybody outside the community.
The Uber drivers will share that information among themselves.
Yes, they share that information with other Uber driver or anybody, not just an Uber driver.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And also they don't know how to get around our community, and it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Tina, it's dark. So they can't find their way. We were standing out in the cul-de-sac watching this guy at like 4:30 in the morning. Oh, look, there he is on Flint Rock. Oh, look, there he is on Fallen Pear. Oh, look, he went on the other way on, because his car was going around in circles. Yes, Brian.
Just wanted to say, Kim and I last week contacted Andrea. She gave us a quote on Friday. We talked to her today. We're going to use her to do our move. We were happy with the pricing she gave us. Very professional, was really easy. And Kim's working with Julia, the woman you recommended for interior design.
So I'm going to get out of my way.
Who is Andrea affiliated with? Curious.
She is with, is it Mayflower, Malloy?
Mayflower.
Yeah, Hilldrup. HILLDRUP is.
Yeah, she's in Hilldrup now.
Yeah, but it's a Mayflower affiliate.
So if you look behind me now, Julia just did that. That's my living room, my great room.
Mm-hmm.
So we just Julia just helped us with that. And look, I have a fireplace with a fire in it. So yes, the sofa, the rug, the ottoman, we did the chairs. Julia's been amazing. Love my Julia. She's terrific. And she will be coming back on. She will be doing a presentation for us very soon. I will also be having Chip from Gotcha Covered for those who need window coverings. And if there's anybody else or any other services or things that you're looking for, just let me know. And again, it's really about you guys. Yes, Eleonora.
Yeah, I had a question regarding doing fencing. Is that you have to go through uh, variance, or again, are they some specs that you have to follow?
So Rivergate has its own HOA and its own POA and its own rules. So there's a different set of rules for Rivergate. I'm not as versed in what the rules are there. So that's definitely something that your builder should know.
Okay.
And that when you need to go over all of those, because I know that fencing, no more privacy fences, but then again, I don't know whether those rules are different on Rivergate than they are in the rest of the community. That I don't know that.
Well, because I have a puppy that I want,
Right.
I don't want him to run the whole
Right. No,
neighborhood.
but I believe I believe throughout the entire community, they're not allowing privacy fences anymore. I think that that's an entire community. I could be wrong when it comes to that.
Okay.
So that's just something that you have to, and it'll be in your packet.
I know we're putting a fence in, and it was all submitted, Haygood submitted everything with the landscape plan. So it all got approved by ARC all at the same time.
But you're not on Rivergate.
No, we're on the corner of River Parkway and.
Right,
yeah,
but
that's how
Rivergate,
they
yeah.
submitted it.
Right, but Rivergate has its own rules. It's different
Right.
than the rest of the community.
Right,
How
but it
come?
may have to be submitted through her
Oh,
building.
absolutely. The whole
Yeah.
thing has to be submitted,
Yeah.
at the same time. But sometimes people will put it in afterwards as well.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, absolutely.
But
that
the
should be
bottom
probably
line,
good.
it's still subject to review by the design review board. It has to
Right.
be approved.
Mhm.
Right.
But that's a good point. So when we are talking about the landscaping, should be part of that process.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So Eleanor, just one other thing related to that. Are you planning to put in a generator as well?
I wasn't thinking about.
Okay, because I'm just telling you, when you put a generator in, that's one of those structures on the side of your house that your landscaper is also supposed to put some shrubbery or some fencing or something so that it's not viewed or viewable from the street. That's the theory. And so we had to do the same. We put a generator in after the fact, and then we had to move a few shrubs that will eventually grow and obscure the view of the generator so nobody can see the horrible, hideous machine that's on the side of
Oh,
our house.
no, I
But
think that, yeah, I had to move. No, I think I do have a generator, so I had to move it. So that was another thing. Because what I wanted, it was again too far out, so I had to move it in the back. Which it's, I didn't want to have it by my screened-in porch.
Right.
So, well, now it's going to be there. That's fine. But yeah, so probably that's going to be all part of the whole landscape.
Yeah. As long as your landscaper does need to know if you're going to have a generator. They probably already know that you're going to have your air conditioning unit somewhere on the side of the house, and they'll put a shrub or two around that. But
Yeah.
now you're going to add a fence, and you're going to add a generator. That's more thinking that the landscaper is going to have to do.
And if you're putting a hot tub in, which we just found out, so we submitted it for today's ARC that happened today.
Yep. And people also, will put in fire pits and all kinds of other stuff.
Outside showers seems to be the new hot thing too. Evidently that seems to be a big new. Brian's like, oh, I didn't think of an outdoor shower. That seems to that seems to be the new, not, I don't think it's new, but that seems to be a very popular addition everywhere.
Does it need to have walls around it?
I don't think it needs to.
Nice.
I don't know that that's in the covenants.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know that that's, I haven't heard, I haven't asked, but I know that a lot of
If
people
you're
are
on,
having.
if you're on Bay Colony, we would respectfully ask that you put walls around that outdoor shower.
But, well, you have, so, but I know that it's interesting because a lot of people have gotten the plumbing part of it put in. It's not so easy to get somebody to come and actually build that structure. So yes, then the answer may be they're not coming up with the outside of it. It's not as easy to get they come prefab, but a lot of people are just putting them in because, you know, if they have young grandchildren, sometimes you just don't want to come back from the pool or the beach or whatever. And more people are having them put in the back, you know, so before they come into the house, they can just like, just kind of shower off. A lot of people who are putting in the hot tubs are also putting them in as well.
Yeah, we did that.
But the outside shower.
Yeah.
Does it have a surround around it?
Definitely.
Yep. No worries, Dennis. Sorry, Brian. Now, did your builder do that, or was it a different?
Yeah, no, we had it included in the original plan.
Okay. So is it attached? Is it attached to the house, or is it kind of a standalone?
It's attached. Yeah.
So it just seems to be a new attraction. What do you think, Suzanne? You think that might be a new thing you may want to add on in the back?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think Jeff should throw that in as a,
No.
as a little extra for all your trouble?
Oh, no.
Could throw in something else. Just a quick question. Is the pool, it's a saltwater pool?
Yes.
Okay, just I thought so.
Yes. And they are resurfacing it this year. It was definitely needed to be resurfaced. So that's awesome.
And no plans for a second pool.
Not on this side. Like not on this side, right? As of right now. I mean, we don't really have much space for it. I mean, there's so many people putting pools in everywhere. That not right now. Most of the time, I mean, I think New Year's Day, I think more people were in the pool New Year's Day when we jumped in than I've ever seen. Now, I wasn't here 4th of July, so it looked to me, Nadine, were there that many people in the pool 4th of July?
Only because there was an event, a community event at the pool, but any other time I have never seen it crowded at all. The only time it's been not a lot of people, but a lot of people around the pool, more than in the pool, is when they're having a community event. So I'm not sure I even know why a second pool would be needed. I just don't see it, but.
I mean, we had were there 20 people, Michael, that jumped?
More.
Oh, had to be more.
Were there more?
Yeah, there were more. It was about a lot of people. I didn't count them, but there were more than 20.
And we got out pretty fast. I mean, we weren't in all that long. But I mean, I know that when the kids are in the pool, but we got a lot more. I think we put in about another 10 or 12, maybe 15 chairs and a couple more tables and a bunch more umbrellas. So there will be more seating around there. But most of the time, and over the whole year that we were building, I was down at all different times. And 90% of the time I would go to work down there and I was alone. Maybe 2 people were sitting down there. And it was always like the same 2 people. And they were like, you again. I didn't know you were back. And because they like to sit by the pool and they just kind of hang out. It was just nice to go work there. It was nice to just get out and sit. But I mean, I've never seen during the week And more, as I said, more and more people have pools and people are going to different places. So I haven't seen it really. And on a holiday weekend, it'll be crowded. People's grandchildren come or people's family comes and people will come. They may sit around the pool. I haven't seen it not in the pool. So I haven't heard anything more about that. But it won't hurt anybody's little tender piggies this year. Hopefully, because that was an issue. And that's the only thing that I've heard. And I will know more, hopefully by next meeting about the clubhouse. I'll have a little bit more, hopefully, closer dates to it's definitely opening in April. I don't know whether everything will be open in April, but I'm sure, I think that the delivery of all of the gym equipment will be done. I believe that the workout, the classrooms will be open, for the workout classrooms, and everything else will be done. Anybody else have anything? Any other questions? No? Well,
So for the clubhouse, will you need to have like a membership with the gym and all that?
No, it's all included. It's all included in your POA fees. I mean, the classes now, the teachers who are teaching them, if there's a fee, that's just to take care of, because it's, there's residents, and then there's a fee. If there's been a fee for the classes before, there's a fee for the class. I think it's like $5 a class, most of them. And that's just to cover their fees. I took a chair yoga class. I think I'm going to be sitting in a chair for a long time. I felt it as I got up off the chair. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be. It's going to be a thing. We have wonderful people here teaching classes. They're terrific. Definitely worth it. So it's all, just keep reading. Make sure that you keep reading everything. And if you have questions about anything, just feel free to reach out. And if I don't have the answer, and there's lots of things I don't know, we're learning every day. And what you thought yesterday, we'll find that tomorrow that things can change. People come and go so quickly. The answers come and go so quickly. So we'll certainly be able to find it out for you. Okay, so everybody stay warm, stay safe.
You too.
Have a great night. And if you need anything, you guys know where to find me.
Awesome.
Have a good
Have
night.
a good one.
Good night. Have a good night.
I can stay on, Robin.
Okay. So what I just wanted to say to you was, and again, I don't know if I can get a copy of I'm sure I can, because Nadine pointed out to me, and I had forgotten that Rivergate has its own rules, and I have friends who live on Rivergate, so I can probably get a copy of them from them. So that's why they're giving you a hard time. What did she say to me? I'm going to tell you exactly what she said.
So why is help me understand how Rivergate has its own rules.
Okay.
Is it not part of the whole community?
It is, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. So Rivergate was originally, because it's around the lake in the middle. It was originally created to have smaller houses that were all supposed to be more uniform. They haven't kept it that way as much, but it's supposed to be more uniform, like the ones that are facing the clubhouse and the water, all are supposed to have tin roofs. They were supposed to have been all the same basic size. You weren't supposed to have larger houses. They were supposed to be more uniform in look and coastal look. You guys have your own land. They take care of the landscaping. Like, you don't have to pay for a gardener. We have to pay for a gardener. Like, we have to handle our own landscaping.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that's why I'm saying you have a whole different
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to say, because my landscaping, it's part of the build.
So, well, I mean, our landscaping is part of the bill, but the care of our landscaping is not part of our POA fee. We are responsible for taking care of our own land.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying the rules for your bill, for your landscaping and the design of your house are
Yeah.
different than the rest of the community.
I see.
That's why I don't know what the rules are, because it's different than mine.
Okay. Okay.
So
Because yeah, no, I mean, that what I went was through homes because I wanted a smaller house.
Right.
I don't want the big. I didn't choose that bonus thing.
Bonus, right?
Yeah, I
So,
want.
so when Nadine said, so there are restrictions. There are restriction lines on Rivergate are very tight, like 5 feet on one side and 10 feet on the other. So, like, we have 10 feet on both sides.
Uh-huh.
In Rivergate, there's 5 feet on one side and 10 feet on the other. So, like, there's differences in your restrictions.
Yeah.
So there's going to be differences in the, I'm going to use it trim or whatever that is. So that's why they're giving you a hard time, where perhaps in another part of the community, you may have had more latitude with design. In Rivergate, they're much stricter.
Yeah, because I even, to save 2 trees, because I didn't want to get them, which is in the back, backyard. So I said, well, how can we save those 2 trees? It's like, well, we can come up, 1 foot further up. And I said, well, let's do that. Be closer to I don't need that huge driveway, I mean, 1 foot, of driveway, but if I can save those 2 beautiful trees. So that went smooth. And now I'm like, I'm talking 3 inches, on 2 sides.
But it matters. I understand. I hear you. Believe me, I hear you. And it doesn't make sense to you. But they're very strict over there, and either you're going to have to come up with a reasonable compromise. But the more I will just tell you with these guys. Hold on a second.